There is very little internet censorship in Hong Kong beyond laws that criminalize the distribution of unlicensed copyrighted material and obscene images, particularly child pornography. Hong Kong law provides for freedom of speech in press, and the government generally respects these rights in practice. Freedom of expression is well protected by the Hong Kong Bill of Rights. No websites, regardless of their political views, are blocked, and government licenses are not required to operate a website. There is some monitoring of the Internet. Democratic activists claim central government authorities closely monitor their emails and Internet use. History and law. Hong Kong is a special administrative region, SA, of the People's Republic of China, PRC. The 1984 Sino-British Joint Declaration on the Question of Hong Kong and the SAR's Charter, the basic law of the SAR, specify that Hong Kong will enjoy a high degree of autonomy except in matters of defense and foreign affairs. Chapter 3 of the Basic Law outlines fundamental rights and duties of the residents, including freedom of expression and association and privacy rights. The Hong Kong Bill of Rights elaborates on these and other rights enjoyed by the people of Hong Kong. Computer Crime Ordinances. Section 161. Access to computer with criminal or dishonest intent, of the Crimes Ordinance, Cap 200, which was enacted in 1993 before the widespread use of the Internet and the growth of e-commerce. Generally, provides that it is an offense to obtain access to a computer with an intent to commit an offense, with a dishonest intent to deceive, with a view to gain for oneself or another, or with a dishonest intent to cause loss to another. Conviction upon indictment of any of these offenses carries a maximum punishment of 5 years. Section 27A of the Telecommunications Ordinance, Cap 106, enacted in 2000, provides that any person who, by telecommunications, knowingly causes a computer to perform any function to obtain unauthorized access to any program or data held in a computer commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of $20,000. Pornography. Pursuant to the Control of Obscene and Indecent Articles Ordinance, Cap 390, it is an offense to publish an obscene article. Publication covers distribution, circulation, selling, hiring, giving, or lending the obscene article. Distribution by email falls within the definition of distribution, as does the placing of an obscene article on a website. Distribution does not require any element of financial gain. The definition includes anything consisting of or containing material to be read or looked at, or both read and looked at, any sound recording, and any film, videotape, disc, or other record of a picture or pictures. An article will be considered obscene if, by reason by its obscenity, it is not suitable to be published to any person. Obscenity includes violence, depravity, and repulsiveness. The penalty for this offense is up to 3 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $1 million. It is an offense to possess, produce, copy, import, or export pornography involving a child under 16 years of age, or to publish or cause to be published any advertisement that conveys or is likely to be understood as conveying the message that any person has published, publishes, or intends to publish any child pornography. The penalty for creation, publication, or advertisement of child pornography is 8 years imprisonment, while possession carries a penalty of 5 years imprisonment. Copyright. The Copyright Ordinance, Chapter 528, provides the legal framework for copyright protection in Hong Kong. In April 2011, the government introduced the Copyright Amendments Bill 2011 that, if passed, will introduce a new technology-neutral exclusive right for copyright owners to communicate their works through any mode of electronic transmission. with criminal sanctions against those who make unauthorized communication of copyright works to the public. Safe harbor provisions for online service providers. And additional factors to consider by the courts when awarding additional damages for copyright infringement. There are complaints that the proposed amendments prohibiting unauthorized use of copyright material in any medium without permission threatens freedom of speech. The bill may negatively affect works of satire or parody on the Internet because there is no fair use exception. The government's position is that the amendments strengthen intellectual property rights. Some pan-democratic activists and supporters termed the bill an Internet Article 23, a reference to Hong Kong Basic Law Article 23. Controversial anti-subversion measures the government proposed in 2002 that led to Hong Kong's largest ever street demonstrations. The proposed article was withdrawn in September 2003. Self-censorship. There are reports of media self-censorship since most media outlets are owned by businesses with interests on the mainland, causing authors and editors to defer to the perceived concerns of publishers regarding their business interests. Some scholars suggest that Hong Kong-based academics practice some self-censorship in their China-related work to preserve good relations and research and lecturing opportunities in the mainland. In a poll published in June 2012 by the Hong Kong Journalists Association, 86.9% of the 663 journalists surveyed felt that press freedom had deteriorated in the past 7 years. This is a 28.5% increase from a similar survey in 2007. Those who felt freedom had declined attributed the change to tighter government control, 92%, self-censorship in the industry, 71%, interference from Beijing, 67.5%, and pressure from the business sector, 35.9%. According to respondents, the policies that most affect the decline in freedom are spot news information being controlled by the police and the fire services department, 57%, releasing more official footage and articles and fewer news events being accessible to reporters, 41.3%, off-the-record briefings increasing tremendously, 23.8%, and a government proposal to criminalize stalking, 16%. Instances of censorship. Local ISP shut down, March 1995. In March 1995, Royal Hong Kong Police raided all but one of the pioneering local internet service providers, ISP, offering dial-up service, confiscated their servers and records and shut them down for a week, blocking the access of 5,000 to 8,000 of Hong Kong's early internet adopters. The raids were thought to be instigated by Supernet, the one ISP not shut down, and coordinated by the Office of Telecommunications Authority, OFTA, working with the Commercial Crime Bureau, CCB, on the premise that the ISPs were operating without applying for a then obscure public, non-exclusive telecommunications service, PNETS, license. Companies shut down were Hong Kong Internet and Gateway Services, HKIGS, HK, Net, Hong Kong Link Infolink eLink, Internet Online Hong Kong, Cybernet, Internet Connections, and Asia Online. Edison Chen photo scandal, January 2008. In January and February 2008, the Hong Kong police force arrested 10 people who were accused of obtaining, uploading, or distributing pornographic images after Emperor Entertainment Group, EEG, a multi-billion entertainment company, filed a complaint about the availability of the photos on the Internet. The indecent and obscene images in question were of the Hong Kong actor Edison Chen with various women, several of whom were local actresses. Chen admitted being the author and copyright owner of most of the photographs, and stated that the private photographs had been stolen and published illegally without his consent. A computer technician was convicted of 3 counts of obtaining access to a computer with dishonest intent, and received a custodial sentence of 8.5 months. The scandal shook the Hong Kong entertainment industry and received high-profile media attention, locally and around the world. The police met with more than 200 people responsible for major Hong Kong websites and BBS communities to urge them to delete the pictures, as they have the responsibility to stop crimes. Related discussion threads were progressively deleted. The police ordered several locally registered websites and BBS management firms to submit information about their clients, and had retrieved the IP addresses of more than 30 Internet users who allegedly posted photographs. The police crackdown raised questions over violations of the privacy and free speech rights of Internet users and the selective application of the law. See also: censorship in Hong Kong, communications in Hong Kong, politics of Hong Kong. This article incorporates public domain material from the United States Department of State document 2011 Country Reports on Human Rights Practices by the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor.